Okay, let's take a look at a single part sound, the Bassoon 3. This is an interesting sound because basically it is what you could have done in a Motif XF, but we've added motion control, just to give you the kind of idea of what motion control does on an individual sound. Now this is a bassoon. With different articulations. And on the super knob, which I can move with the foot controller again, I can bring in the rest of the woodwind ensemble. So I have a flute, an oboe, and a clarinet that come in when the super knob is at full. And it's one of the things, the smoothness at which you can morph from one sound to another. Now let's take a wind ensemble and show you some other things that you can do. This is a larger sound: flute, oboe, clarinet, and bassoon. Now this time on the ribbon controller, when I tap the right side of the ribbon controller, it changes the envelope. So now I have like a wind ensemble pad sound. So changing the articulation is part of what this is about. It's really about your music. So when you're doing this, when you're having fun with your montage, there's no limit. Now I'll give you an idea of what can happen when you put all this together in terms of what's called a multi-part, multi-instrument situation where you are putting in motion. I like to think of it as like potential energy. I learned synthesis on a room-filling ARP 2500 where you patch cables from one thing to another, and the teacher wouldn't allow us to use the keys. The keys were just to trigger, to set this thing in motion. And what you have here in this particular performance is a incomplete musical entity that you now interface with. Now, what I'm going to do is start the motion. This is only 3 parts, but I have these 8 different scenes. Each scene calls up a different arpeggio for each of the 3 parts, a different motion sequence for one of the parts, all right? And some of the parts I'm controlling in real time. Some of the parts I'll be changing with the super knob or with the pedal and with the mod wheel. Depending on where the mod wheel is, different things happen. The one thing about this is I could never repeat this performance. Once I do it, it's out there. It's a real-time interacting with the motion control engine. Montage, music in motion.